enters is gold, and she's buying the stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word, she can get what she came for. And she's buying the stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know, sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven. Ooh, it makes me wonder. Ooh, it makes me wonder. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. Ooh, it makes me wonder. Ooh, it makes me wonder. And it's whispered that soon, if we all call a tune, then the piper will lead us to reason, and a new day will dawn for those who stand alone. And the forest will echo with laughter. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, 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 oh. And it's thunder. If there's a bustle in your hedgerow, don't be alarmed now. It's just a spring clean for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, and there's still time to change the road you're on. Ooh, it makes me wonder. Oh, 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 oh. The head is humming and it won't go, in case you don't know. The piper's calling you to join him. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know the stairway lies on the whispering wind? And as we wind on down the road, our shadows taller than our soul, there walks a lady we all know, who shines white light and wants to show how everything still turns to gold. And if you listen very hard, the tune will come to you at last. When all I want and want is all, yeah, to be a rock and not to roll. And she's buying a stairway to heaven. Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat a lot of peaches. I'm moving to the country, I'm gonna eat a lot of peaches. I'm moving to the country, I'm gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat a lot of peaches. Peaches come from a can, they were put there by a man in a factory downtown. If I had my little way, I'd eat peaches every day. Sun soaked indulges in the shade. Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat a lot of peaches. Moving to the country, I'm gonna eat a lot of peaches. I'm moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. I'm moving to the country, gonna eat a lot of peaches. I took a little nap where the roots all twist, squished a rotten peach in my fist, and dreamed about you, woman. I poked my finger down the side, make a little room for an ant to hide. Nature's candy in my hand, a can or a pie. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Look out! peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Millions of peaches, peaches for me. Millions of peaches, peaches for free. Look out! Looking for something I can't get. Broken hearts lie all around me, and I don't see an easy way to get out of this. A diary sits by the bedside table. The curtains are closed, the cat's in the cradle. That a boy like me could come to this. Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should've walked away. I should've walked away. Is there any just cause for feeling like this? On the surface, I'm a name on a list. I try to be discreet, but then blow it again. I've lost and found. It's my final mistake. She's loving by proxy, no give and all take. 'Cause I've been thrilled to fantasy one too many times. Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should've walked away. I should've walked away. It was a long, hot night. She made it easy. She made it feel right. But now it's over. The moment is gone. I followed my hands, not my head. I know I was wrong. Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been some kind of kiss. I should've walked away. I should've walked away. Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Oh, I just died. All the leaves are brown. All the leaves are brown. And the sky is gray. And the sky is gray. I've been for a walk. I've been for a walk on a winter's day. such a winter's day. Such a winter's day. California dreaming. Such a winter's day. California dreaming. Such a winter's day.
The sun beat down upon my face with stars to fill my dreams. I am a traveler of both time and space to be where I have been. Sit with elders of a gentle race. This world is seldom seen. Talk of days for which they sit and wait.
Welcome, my friends, to Xbox Era. If you're new here, let me fill you in. Xbox Era is a platform for the Xbox community with best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and of course, xboxera.com, your destination for the best news, reviews, and features, all focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. It's every Xbox fan's gateway to the best. This is Xbox Era. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. This with best-in-class Xbox Era. A kick-ass We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of best news, your favourite platform, and features. Xbox focused with best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch. xboxera.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon exclusive content. This is Xbox Era. We're an independent, community-funded publication focused on providing the best coverage and discussion of your favourite platform, Xbox. With best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and awesome merch, xboxera.com is your destination for the best news, reviews, and features focused on what you care about. With shows like the Xbox Era podcast, headlines, and a whole heap of Patreon exclusive content, we're proud to be an independent publication completely funded by you. If you value having an outlet truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. This Xbox Era is only made possible by the support of an amazing community, and in particular our legendary and growing army of Patreon supporters. Our executive producers, Top, The Scarecrow 121, Peter B, Not Jack, Mohammed Sherez, Kevin S, Korkenstein, Jordan White, Jordan Andau, Frankie C, Terran H, and Britt. Our amazingly generous grand benefactors who take their support and dedication to Xbox Era to another level. Krat56, an assassin. And then there's our boss, our leader, our shining light in times of darkness, the one and only Xbox Era CEO, Torn Raptor. You guys are all fucking awesome. If you enjoy the content Xbox Era produce and want more of it, and you're not a patron, consider heading over to patreon.com/Xbox Era, pledge your support, and get cool swag in return. Welcome to another episode of Xbox Era Headlines. Today's date is March 11th, 2025. I'm Sick Mechanico, and today Jesse and I will be taking you through all of the latest in gaming news from across the video game industry. As a bonus for our wonderful and incredible Patreon community, we make audio versions of these episodes available for those patrons to listen to in their preferred podcast app. But if they have a Spotify account, they can link their account to Patreon and listen to it right there. Fun fact, we're in the top 5% of video podcasts on Spotify with Xbox Era. Lucky us. If you want to become a Patreon legend and support an independent and feisty little outlet like ours, head to patreon.com/Xbox Era. All right, that's the last of the ads. All right, it's the last one. We're done. Hello, Jesse. It's Tuesday.
Hello.
We're here for another week. We're a little bit later than usual.
You're not here next
time
week.
Zones are all crazy.
People got to get
Now
used to
what?
it because next week John's at GDC. So that means at the whim of Ursul's real life job schedule. So we'll see what it ends up being because he wants to be on. It might be a little different. We are also -4 in the US right now for my time zone instead of -5. So that kind of throws everything off for like 3 weeks. So the podcast is 6 p.m. this weekend. So you got to get used to that for like 2 weeks, and then it's back because Nick will fall back and John will jump forward at the very end of March and then at the very beginning of April because daylight savings is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but hey, I like having longer days and
Darker mornings to match how bad you feel
Miserable.
inside whenever you wake up because of how allergic to everything you are, it turns out.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, we're here. Before we get into things,
More ads. No, I'm kidding.
no, just some friendly reminders. This week on Xbox Era, we dropped a couple of bits and pieces. We've
Last
got
week.
this week. Wonder Stop review is
Oh, yeah.
available right now. If you, I saw someone in the chat mentioning they were already playing it. It's out. I think it's on the Game Pass, if memory serves. No, it's not. I'm
Your
wrong. I'm
memory
full of
served
crap.
poorly.
You have chosen poorly. But you can go check out the Wonder Stop review. It's available to purchase now on Xbox consoles.
Mhm.
I
Oh.
don't know if people spotted it. Actually, we'll talk about it during the show because it's kind of mixing in with the news. So it's all fine.
Who said that there's
Yeah.
a partner preview announced?
What, just now?
I don't know. Somebody's yelling it in chat.
Xbox Partner Preview 30 announcement. What?
No, I don't
Check
see
it out on
anything.
Xbox One. Breaking
Nah.
news.
Nope. I checked the Xbox Wire. There's nothing there.
Oh.
Can't trust chat.
Oh. Okay. I feel very thrown today. Like I
Yeah,
feel
no.
like I'm all over the place. I apologize. I tell you what, if you want some breaking news, Katamari Damacy Rolling Live has been announced. The first all new entry in 8 years.
Mm.
There you go. There's a new Katamari.
Sounds like a
Damacy
mobile game. Yep, Apple Arcade.
Oh, such a shame.
You put live in there.
Um,
I'm just assuming mobile.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, let's dig into the news, people, because that's what we're here to do.
There is one site-related thing that we can talk about now that we couldn't last week because it came out on Friday.
Oh, was that perchance a little preview?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you want to kick us off on that one? It was,
Sure.
I believe, for a certain Game Pass title. Coming
Yeah, for
our
a
way
certain thing,
later
everyone
this
just
month.
keeps saying the word Fallout around when Atomfall has absolutely nothing to do with Fallout, despite the fact that my display capture just doesn't want to bother showing it. There we go. And then it shows the wrong thing again. Boop, boop. There we go. Thank you, OBS. You're not annoying at all. Atomfall. It is a survival-y, horror-y, detective-y first-person game set in an alternate history windfall incident area of Great Britannia. It's slow, it's methodical, it's full of survival crafting without punching any trees. You're just looting stuff and making things. Very easy, very basic. I quite enjoyed it. I had the worst possible setup for playing it. I was playing over Parsec, which is like peer-to-peer computer control service. But the computer I was controlling was in London, and I'm not anywhere near London, so there was a lot of latency. So my gameplay isn't the best, but there is a good old preview up there talking about it, breaking it down. It just drops you in with no clue what's going on, and it is your job to finish out or to find out what the hell happened, why you're there, and how to get out. That comes to Game Pass on the 27th. I'm hoping review code shows up sometime relatively soon. I'm wrapping up my Assassin's Creed Shadow playthrough, so I will be hopping right into this one when I get it in. And it comes to Game Pass day one, play anywhere, fun stuff.
I am muted. I'm sorry. I saw a lot of people comparing Atomfall to Fallout.
I know. I don't know why.
What would you say to those people?
Please don't. You're setting completely unreasonable expectations. It is nothing like Fallout. Does not play like Fallout. Like, you talk to people and you have to make decisions and choices and shit like that on how you interact with them. But as a game, it is nothing like Fallout at all. It's post-apocalyptic, post-nuclear incident. But that's the only thing Fallout about it.
Okay. Cool. What do you reckon, chat? Folks looking forward to Atomfall? Looking forward to it? Let us know. Let us know what you think. It's Game Pass, so you can try it out even if you're unsure, I suppose.
March 30th is a Sunday as well, which makes what that guy's saying in chat even dumber.
He's just literally spamming random dates. Here's a date for you. Xbox June showcase is in June. There you go. Should we hazard a guess at the day?
Be the second Sunday. So
second Sunday. Is it the Sunday or the Monday? It's the Monday,
it's the second Sunday in June. That would be the 8th, June 8th this year.
There you go. Boom. It was the 9th last year, if memory serves. Yep. I bet that's when the Xbox showcase is.
Your memory thought it was Monday, so no one cares what it serves.
My memory is definitely not serving me well today.
No.
I guess we should talk about probably the big news.
Big news. Christmas Day, December 25th, per Josh James. Holy shit.
This is going to be a very silly show. I feel like we're woefully underprepared and it's all my fault. Yeah, let's talk about the big news story of the week, which is a new report from our good friend Jez Corden over at Windows Central, talking about a new Xbox partner-led handheld. Let's make sure we are very
Windows
clear on
PC.
this, because I've seen other websites just call it an Xbox handheld, and guess what these kinds of things do? They spitball into, oh, now I'm disappointed because it's not what I read it was. Jez was very clear in his article, and I'll put a link to that article in the chat if I can find it for some reason. Okay.
You deleted it out of the show runner.
For some reason, the article that you put up, the article that you put as a link to Windows Central is not the Windows Central article, so that needs fixing.
Well, doesn't matter. I don't put this anywhere.
Yeah, I will fix that now on the fly. But here's the link to Jez Corden's article. So, Xbox's new hardware plans begin with a gaming handheld set for later this year, with full next-gen consoles targeting 2027. It begins with a partner device set to launch later this year. To my knowledge, it's with Asus, by the way. I'm not going to put that in writing because I'm unable to source that information at this time, but it's with Asus. Yeah.
Well, that was.
What do you think about this?
Jason Ronald was at the Asus thing, wasn't he? So I mean, that would
I
be
thought that
crazy.
was with Lenovo.
Was it
Steam, wasn't it? Yeah.
No,
it was with Lenovo and Steam. I thought.
Jason Ronald, CES, Asus. Boop, boop, boop. It didn't end up getting friggin' aired, which was very annoying. Oh, it was AMD and Lenovo. It was AMD and Lenovo, you're right.
Memories back on for
but Lenovo's also just talked about their Legion Go S and their Legion Go 2, and neither of them were this. So it'd be weird if they had another thing. The Ally X was last year, so if Asus is doing something else and it's in the vein of the previously announced but never actually released MetaQuest 3 that is original Xbox themed. But Jez also clarified, because Tom Warren came out and clarified it's a partner OEM Windows handheld, and Jez said I didn't say anything different, but he hadn't realized that everyone was saying, oh, the Xbox handheld is this year from a third party. It's like, no, Windows PC that is Xbox skinned, like looks like
someone who once used the word planned when he perhaps should have used the word considered. I do think that the headline Xbox's new hardware plans begin with a gaming handheld set for later this year set that expectation, and perhaps it should have been a partner-led gaming handheld. But
you always hope people are going to actually read it, but the headline is what most people reply to. But yeah, Xbox partner OEM handheld. The partner part is the continued software support to try and make Windows handheld PC gaming not bad.
Yes.
The only advantage Steam Deck has over the other handhelds is that it just works a little easier. It's still a PC, and it's a Linux PC, so it breaks all the time, and the OS breaks all the time. Trust me, I've had that Steam Deck I have rebuild itself 15 times for the friggin' operating system. But yeah, making it better like they did with MSI, where the game bar, you press the button, the game bar pops up, and everything's right there, including the system settings. Like that type of stuff will go a long way.
Unofficially, as I understand it, this partner-led device will be the first kind of good look at what Microsoft envisage as the new kind of wrapper for handheld devices, particularly handheld Windows devices, to make managing Windows. I own a ROG Ally X. Windows is the worst thing about it. It's simultaneously the best thing about it, because you can do anything.
Yeah, but you kind of have to just tell it to use GOG Galaxy. Just you load up GOG Galaxy, which will pull in all your games. But even that then has to load every individual launcher when you play stuff. It's always a pain.
I like the Armor Crate app that they have.
It's a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah, the onus is on Microsoft to come up with a better solution here for a growing market. And that's what you should all expect. This is not the Xbox handheld. And unfortunately, it is already being framed. You know, I'm seeing people in comments saying, not in the chat here, but online, oh, unless it can play all my Xbox games, I'm not interested. Right. Okay, it's not going to do that. It's not.
Yeah, I saw Jen from Windows Central was like, it has to be this. It's like, no, that's the one in the article. That's the 2027. Yeah. Because
and that's a good segue.
So this pulls 300-ish, 250-ish watts from the wall, and even a Series S pulls 100. The Switch 2 is going to use 17. The most you get out of a Legion Go 2 or an MSI Claw is 35 to 40. Like, being able to get similar performance out of under half of the actual power draw means you need to be really far ahead on the hardware front, and that's going to take a little while.
Yeah. It's a good segue because, yes, okay, we're going to get our first glimpse of this. Now, I wonder if they're bringing this to GDC in some form. I will find out. I'll be there. Let's see.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Especially now that it's out there.
Very curious. But yes, I'm expecting, and I think someone named Rat Avenue in the chat said a ROG Ally with an Xbox skin slapped on it. I think you can expect it to be a lot more Xbox pad-like on the sides. This is just as I understand it. This is not official. This is not reporting. This is just what the scuttlebutt I've heard, with Xbox branded buttons, guide buttons, all of the stuff you'd expect with a Windows version or a handheld wrapper that can handle things a lot better than what we are currently used to
things like starting up and shutting down, waking from sleep, all that type of stuff. Like a focus on that would make sense. And also trying its best to give you the ergonomics of an Xbox controller like the Portal does. Like, people laugh at the Portal, but the Portal is comfortable for people who like a DualSense because it's a DualSense. You just hold it wide instead of next to itself. Like, Makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, and I look forward to seeing it. And I think these are welcome changes. And I think this is important to note, right? Like, because the article served two things. One, it told us that Microsoft are aware of these concerns from handheld manufacturers, and the onus is on them to fix it. And it sounds like they're approaching this with the right amount of vigor to give us the kind of performance and usability that we all expect and want and like. But in this article as well from Jez, that plans have now been solidified for the next generation of Xbox hardware set to launch in 2027, a mere 7 years following the release of the Xbox Series X and S. That's the year where you should expect a native Xbox handheld. That's where they have to solve the problem of, I'm a legacy Xbox customer since 2001 or 2. I want to be able to play my originals. I want to play my 360 back compats. I want to play my Xbox Ones, my Xbox Series consoles. Are you going to do that? Microsoft's answer to this in a handheld space has to be yes. But it also is going to be their new venture into this. It's also a PC. And the trick here is what's I think is being referred to as the Xbox OS, right? That's by us pundits. I don't know what the official name
Tom
is.
Warren has consistently said it is still just Xbox, but it can access Windows when it needs to. So I feel like it really just seems like for people who use Xbox, it won't change much other than there'll be like a PC section that's like, hey, here's all your PC shit. And if you never touch it because you don't want to, then it doesn't change much. Other than it's going to be real expensive because they're not going to subsidize anything anymore.
Yeah, and this is where people need to buckle up, right? The assumption I think is, and you could make a whole hour-long conversation on the podcast about this, and I imagine that you guys will because Nick will be there.
Yeah.
But Microsoft, they've been very clear over the last year now. The new world is the new world. You're not going to have $500 consoles anymore. I would expect the handheld to replace the Series S in its way. It would have a dock and all of that stuff still. And then you'd have a far more expensive, probably in the PS5 Pro range, console device with all of the modern DLSS style.
Yeah, that was the other part of Jez's reporting was the handheld and then a Series X successor. The Series X successor and the handheld have been priced out and approved all the way to the top by Satya himself. So like it is a next generation is a go, as they have repeatedly said. I know people, it's when things are changing, it is good to be skeptical. There is no reason to ever take a company at their word. You only take them at their product. And once the product is out and you've seen it, then you decide, I want to buy this. And you put money at it. And it's on them to, oh, God damn it. I wrote hadware. Friggin', of course, Tom jumps in for that. It is on them. Oh, it's 160 pounds of whiskey. How's it going, Tom? It is on them to sell you what they make. And it's always weird to me. And I see in the Discord a little bit and I try and gently push back. Like you can let people be skeptical until something's out. You can say, I understand what they're going to go for if this turns out to be the case. But there's so much A versus B shit around all this hardware and everything. But yeah, the plan is cool.
The plan is cool, but there's an interesting comment on the chat about this. It's not a super chat, but I'm just going to read it anyway. Player says, do you think if Steam isn't going to be on the next generation Xbox, should Microsoft say something about it now? And herein lies the problem that I think Microsoft suffers from more than any other platform holder, is that stuff gets scooped or leaked or reported on, and then you'll get things like Microsoft's messaging is bad, Microsoft is terrible at this, when it turns out that the end result is different. Or is it on them to speak before they're ready if someone decides to leak incomplete information? You tell me. I don't know the answer to that. I don't, as much as you can feel for a corporation, I don't really feel for them, but it's a hard one to wrangle.
You can feel for the actual people who do all the work. Like, I don't care about Microsoft. I don't care about Xbox, but the people that are there that seem like good people, it sucks for.
Yeah. So I think that's a hard one to wrangle. I think if they weren't going to be planning, because they own Windows, and if Windows is open source, so ergo, in theory, they can do whatever they
Yeah,
want.
as long as it doesn't break any of the contracts they have with the people who have their launchers on there, which they would know.
So I would imagine that would be a conversation of renegotiations and making sure that everyone's happy and on board. But I think you could look upon it this way: is all game makers, and I think Craig Duncan said this recently in his appearance with the official Xbox podcast.
How'd they get him
all
on?
Makers that make games, they want their games to be played by as many people as possible. Devices that enable as many storefronts and applications and methods into buying a video game as possible sounds like a pretty good deal for me as a consumer, and that should be our focus. What do we get? That's all we need. We don't need to worry about Microsoft's bottom line or how much money they're making or how many consoles they sell. What do I get? What's in it for me? That should be our number one priority as gamers. And I, for one, love the idea. I'm already in love with my ROG Ally X. It was so invaluable to me when traveling. And it's going to be worth its weight in gold again this coming week and 2 12-hour flights. I love the idea of being able to take my console up to bed with me, but it has everything I own in every capacity on every store where I majoritively game. That sounds like a good world to live in. So
I would just like to say too, the elemental hero, the Shadow Link Dragon Wolf King. Your Xbox can already play all your shit offline if you're not game sharing. So the handheld would be able to do the same thing, but the handheld has to be your home console. So if you get an Xbox handheld, it's going to probably mean the end of game sharing with your friends if you want to be able to use it offline. Same thing with a Switch.
Good point. That's a really good point.
And that is also the thing with game sharing. If you are a multi-family home and you've got good money and your kids all want a handheld, there's no Steam family plan. That's one advantage for Steam Decks, though it does mean you have to buy a copy of the game for every console anyways. It doesn't really change that much if you want to play things together. But yes, the handheld would be the handheld. There's also an offline mode on your PC games as well. The elemental hero, the Shadow Link Dragon Wolf King. If you go into the Xbox app and you go into your offline permissions, you get one PC that can be set to your offline PC. And it works. It's the exact same with Steam. And if you have to be online to set that, and people get annoyed at that, but you have to be offline to set it for all of them because it is literally checking that you own this shit and putting that key on your system so it'll still work. It does it with Steam. I couldn't use my Steam Deck on the first flight because I forgot to set it to offline until I bought the Wi-Fi, and then I set it to offline.
Yeah, I had to do exactly the same thing on my ROG Ally. Set everything, make sure the Xbox store was set. This is my offline device, and everything.
The Steam family sharing is really cool. It is also really locked down to your local area.
Yeah, it is very.
So people are like, "Oh, it's amazing." It is, but they do really want you to actually be in the same house. There are probably ways around it, but if they ever find out you're not, I know people who have had it turned off on them. So yeah, it's good, but it is literally meant for family house sharing.
Yeah. Anyway, handhelds, new consoles,
new
Xbox
Series X
continues to live.
We better be on. Oh, and new controllers was in there too. So probably that Sebel one that's got some. I doubt they're going to do the force feedback. I think the haptics will be the thing because their studios are already going to be going all in on it because they're putting up PlayStation ports. So then you can probably make your own newer, betterer version in your mind right off the bat.
Yeah. Fun. There you go. So get hyped, people. It's very exciting. If you want a more lengthy, in-depth conversation on these bits and pieces, tune into the Xbox Era podcast on Saturday with Special Nick. I'm sure he'll have things to say and theories to talk about.
One more thing to answer. Owl Theory asks, do you think it's going to be PC builds? The rumor on the GDK is it's one SKU. You make one Xbox version, and that gets you cloud, console, and PC. That's the rumor of what they're going for, so that it
their goal.
Yeah, and if they're not subsidizing their hardware and the way they already do it on PC, I think another way they could try to entice more developers is by taking less of a cut, because they already take less of a cut on PC, and if they're making it all that and they're not subsidizing their hardware as much anymore, the math starts to work better.
And it probably means that next generation, the end of online paid.
Yeah, you can't have it if it's it also plays PC
games. You can merge these worlds.
I would play the PC version of every Xbox game on there.
Exactly, right? So it's gonna be an opportunity for them to reset things a little bit and maybe make their case for this future that they're arguing for now in wishy-washy ways, because the hardware and the vision isn't yet there to support it. But this is all on them now to execute. Good luck, Microsoft. Good luck. Because, if we're going to stay called Xbox era, you better be still in the game, bro.
If their plans work, they'll be in it more than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Next up in news, keeping on a Microsoft slant for now, Microsoft accounts are going to be required for Forza Horizon 5 when it releases on PlayStation 5 later this year. It's completely unsurprising because, well, why wouldn't they?
They've already done it.
But they've already done it for a majority of, I think, Sea of Thieves requires.
One of the biggest games on the planet, Minecraft, requires a Microsoft account now on everything.
It requires it for all features, but I don't think you actually need it for everything. But everyone,
if you actually want all the stuff that they give, like the cloud saves, and it also gives cross progression in Sea of Thieves, but not cross progression in Forza.
Interesting.
Probably because progression might be server side already in Sea of Thieves by default, and they didn't have that set up for Forza. Who knows? Who knows the tech reason? I'm sure if it was easy, they would do it. It could also be a platform thing, depending on the type of game it is, because I am really curious when we've got it later in the show, when certain things get ported over to PlayStation 5 that do have the save sharing in there built into the game. How is that going to work on other platforms besides Steam? Steam doesn't give a shit, but others might. But yeah, so this Crusader was very mad. Game preservationists were very mad.
Push square.
Yeah, but also it's like for the preservation, you just worry about the PC version anyways. Like no one's
also PS Forza Horizon gets delisted after like X number of years.
Yeah. Like the preservation of these games is always a PC version, which is why it was hard for 1 and 2. Then friggin', but or even 3. I think 3 is on PC. I don't remember actually, but for game preservation, the only reality is always if you want to play the game, it's going to be the PC version that lasts through time, thanks to pirates. Some people really want console versions of stuff just to have every version should always be available forever, but it won't. The end.
Next up in news, Call of Duty Warzone returns to Verdansk on April 3rd. I did see an additional rumor attached to this. Verdansk obviously is the return of the classic Warzone map experience, and there's a new teaser trailer out, watchable right now on YouTube. It was the game's first map, and it's back on April 3rd this year as Warzone looks to reinvigorate things a little bit after a lengthy period without a lot of new content. It's 5 years old now, Warzone. Did you know that? It's crazy. The rumor I saw earlier today was that there's no water on Verdansk. Like it's back, but it's like been dried out like a desert or something.
Climate change.
Ooh, it's affecting video games as well as the world. It's not the only thing that's been in the news when it comes to Call of Duty. The rumored new Call of Duty for 2026 is targeting a release that is not supporting the last generation of consoles. So that's the Xbox One and PS4. And is being developed on dev kits for the next Xbox. Now, combining this with Jez's report, again, dev kits for the next Xbox. There's no dev kit for the next Xbox yet. There's probably a target PC, right? That's got different performance profiles that you could build towards for people that are building their games for that period of time. But yeah, don't expect actual hardware dev kits. That's too soon. Too soon, people.
Too soon, executors.
Yeah, fun times. The other part of that rumor, of course, was that there would be no Warzone 3 if this release of Verdansk fails to retain current or bring back returning players. So we'll have to wait and see if Activision's ambitions.
We did do all this last week. I threw that in there to make it 300 words.
Oh, okay. I know. I'm just mentioning it for context.
Just in case people wondering why they heard it on Thursday and again today.
Yeah. Next up in news, staying on our Microsoft slunks, there's a lot of stuff here. Age of Empires 4 gets a Knights of Cross and Rose DLC. It's been detailed now. It is coming out this spring, and in a blog post over on the Age of Empires website, you're going to see 2 new variant civilizations: the Knights Templar and the House of Lancaster. 10 new maps for skirmish and multiplayer, and a new game mode called Historical Battles. They're still putting the finishing touches on it, but this DLC plans to, and I quote, deliver rich, historically inspired content that can be enjoyed across a variety of modes, including 2 variant civilizations for which the DLC is named, ergo the Knights and of Cross and Rose, so Lancaster and Templar. There's a bunch of screenshots over on the xboxera.com website or the Age of Empires website if you're intrigued. So go check them out. But yeah, Age fans, some more content for you there.
You want a little breaking news? I've never played Age once in my life. If you want a little breaking news, BlizzCon announced for 2026.
Okay, that's good. Was there not been one recently?
There hasn't been one for years.
Oh, and they've finally announced one. I'm intrigued. Apparently. Okay, there you go. A little bit of breaking news. Elsewhere, in terms of game updates from Microsoft, Sea of Thieves is celebrating its 7th anniversary. 7 years, good lord. By launching a bunch of great dynamic backgrounds on Microsoft's Xbox Series consoles.
I never looked at them. I never saw what they were. I meant to do it for the news piece, and then I hadn't actually loaded them up.
But there's a bunch of celebratory events and bits and pieces going on for this year. So pirates are invited to tackle a series of community goals inspired by memorable moments in Sea of Thieves past. By working together across all these servers on platforms to hit cumulative targets, you'll be able to unlock a range of rewards commemorating some of those unforgettable encounters and discoveries. Yeah, it's birthday time.
Let me see if I can. I'm going to look these up while we're live. Because fuck it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
You do that. So yeah, there's they're not out until Friday, March 14th. So
God damn it. I set this whole thing up for no reason. Son of a bitch. All right. That's why I couldn't find them. Also, that reminds me, I need to do a review for Mullet Magic. Yes, I completely forgot.
Yeah, there you go. Sea of Thieves. Good for them.
It's not. It won't be enough to get you to come back because you would need a full-on sequel. I think at this point,
I need a full-on sequel. I want ice biomes. I want better enemies to fight. I want more. I want more ships, bigger ships, more multiplayer.
Yeah, you want a sequel.
Player crews. I want more. Rare. You hear me? After Everwild, maybe. Last Microsoft-ish story of the day. Forza Motorsport's 18th update and its patch notes are also out and available. They are bringing the speed, as they've said. There's a bunch of game improvements.
They fixed HDR, I think, was a big one. People are very happy about.
Yes. They've made improvements to multiplayer matchmaking services, improving population of lobbies, and they've been testing these with the participants in the Forza Insiders program, and are rolling them out with Update 18. HDR's been fixed. There's increased race duration of short-length races from 8 minutes to 10 in featured multiplayer. And there is the new Velocity Tour, which is where you'll be able to experience unforgettable journeys in cutting-edge automobiles across 4 series: Lamborghini, Sebring, Production to GT, and Extreme Speed. There you go.
There we go.
Loads more in that update. You can read that on Xbox.
The one thing I saw Claw really wanted is damage in a certain type of online race. They still have it turned off. It's a really nice looking game, so anything that makes the HDR look even better, I'm all for.
Yeah, it definitely does look a lot better than it did at launch. And it looked good at launch. So that's surprising, I guess, in many ways. Now we're on to some other meaty news of the week. Battlefield 6, in air quotes, because it hasn't been given a full...
I won't show video of this because it's all getting pulled.
Yeah, we're not going to put gameplay up on screen, but we can tell you that if you... yeah, it's been removed. The videos I embedded in my article from Reddit have already been taken down. Some haven't, but you can go and view a lot of footage around the internet right now from Battlefield's Labs new playtest, which occurred over this weekend. And of course, gamers being gamers and the internet being the internet, everything immediately leaked, which showed, to be honest, a really good looking Battlefield to start with. The destruction in particular looks absolutely bonkers, as well as clips of people dragging like fallen comrades back to get them into cover, to bring them back, and all sorts of stuff like that. I don't know about you. Like, I've bounced on and off Battlefield. I think Battlefield 3 was the highlight for me, and I've just become less interested as the series goes on. My personal favorite is the arcade release, Battlefield 1943, which I really loved because it was so simple.
3 good, 4 good once they fixed it. 1 amazing, 5 the best playing one with the lowest amount of content. But the actual shooting and tank driving and flying in 5 still the series best. It was the best feeling sniping I've ever had in any video game, and I was very good at it.
Yeah. But yeah,
2042 is okay.
It looks promising. I'll put it that way.
I did not review 2042. Someone did who gave it like over an 8. But that review's been blown up forever.
Wow. Yeah, it's being developed by EA. But
most of EA.
4 internal studios. So DICE, Criterion, Ripple Effect, and Motive are all working on Battlefield in various capacities. DICE are leading the multiplayer, as always, with Criterion, Ripple Effect, and Motive working on other experiences within the title. It looks interesting and it looks promising. So early days, I have to admit, I was so like, I could dive back into some Battlefield. That I did sign up for the Battlefield Labs just so I could have a play.
Just so you could leak it?
No,
oh,
that's not how I roll. But yeah, go check it out. If you are really wanting to scratch that Battlefield itch, there is the EA Xbox Store sale, which is live at the moment. There are a bunch of classic Battlefield games currently on sale for some crazy prices. Like, I think you can get Battlefield 1 for 74p on the UK Xbox Store, the standard version.
They gave Battlefield 1 away over Christmas, so everyone should own it if you had an Xbox and paid attention.
Well, I very rarely pay attention, to be fair. But yes, a bunch of the Battlefield series are all for sale right now, and I can tell you their prices. You've got Battlefield 2042, it's just $6.99, it's 90% off. Battlefield 5 Standard Edition is £1.74. Battlefield 4 is 74p. Hardline is £1.49. And Battlefield 1 is a paltry 99 pence. You can buy the standard editions of those games. The premium editions are on sale as well, but obviously they're a little bit more. But if you want to own them, now's the chance. Get in there. Yeah, Battlefield, looking good. Good work, EA. I like it. Keep it up. Next up in news, Hideo Kojima dropped a 10-minute trailer for Death Stranding 2 on the beach. The internet went crazy for it. I thought it, like, I'm never going to play Death Stranding. It has zero interest for me. I thought it looked like Death Stranding.
It's very pretty. Like,
yeah,
the faces look all right, pretty good. The people look pretty good, but like the environments look really nice. Outside of that, I've never liked his writing, so I just know it's not for me.
Yeah.
And the reason it was on our website and people were like, how can you report this? Well, the first one is on Xbox now. So I felt it was worth an article to say the second one is just straight up PlayStation 5 only on the announcement. No, for this amount of time, it's just Sony paid for this game. So don't expect it anytime soon. Even on PC, it'll probably take a little while. By the time it's on PC, you might have an Xbox that can just play it there anyways.
Next up in news, Sony is experimenting with AI-powered PlayStation characters.
Can't play this anymore. They also DMC'd all of it.
Yeah. Reported by The Verge. Basically,
it's not as bad as everyone keeps saying. So people have been flipping out and like, and Lana Pierce was like, I was told we were never going to do this. And it was literally one guy just taking some AI models, tossing it onto a character and trying to have a conversation with it. It wasn't something they're working on as a team. It was just one guy messing around. Still, it was terrible. It looked and sounded bad.
Yeah, it is just an experiment, right? And all companies are doing this kind of thing. And to be honest with you, this experiment is the interesting one. I don't know why they chose Aloy of all characters to be the face of this, but the effective use case of this is unimportant NPCs within Skyrim having their own vocalizations and can just randomly emote and talk with some modicum of structure around it. That's interesting. That adds to the immersion of a video game. Nothing wrong with that. I'm fine with it. Right? Like, you're still going to get crafted experiences. I don't know why people freak out about this stuff. This is kind of the cool side of AI, I think. Conversational AI.
Because of how shitty and stupid executives are about large language models and all this other stuff. People have just, and I think rightly, said not interested in any of it because they know the main purpose of it is to fire them eventually.
That I can understand. But yeah, it's been pulled down, so it clearly was true and real from
it was directly from
videos of it.
It was directly from a like a Sony internal video thing. And it's funny to use Horizon because Horizon is a game where the whole storyline is rich tech bros built automated robots and destroyed the planet.
Oh, the irony. Next up in news, Fortnite maker Epic Games are being sued for deceptive practices deployed on a massive scale. Epic is obviously disputing the complaint, saying it contains factual errors. This is via Vicky Blake over at Eurogamer. Parents have filed a proposed class action lawsuit against Fortnite maker Epic Games for allegedly creating the illusion of scarcity and FOMO with its store items. It was originally reported by Polygon. 2 parents have filed a claim within a San Francisco court on behalf of their children, citing deceptive practices employed on a massive scale in one of the world's most popular video games, aka Fortnite. Some items, such as the ultra-rare Renegade Raider outfit, were offered briefly and have not been offered in more than 6 years. Others disappear only to reappear weeks later. These offerings and their schedules are subject of intense interest to Fortnite players. But when the countdown timers expire, Fortnite's item shop does not disappear the products, or they return them to full price. They remain available for purchase, often at the same purportedly discounted rate for many days or even weeks at a time. This is an unlawful scheme. These optional things, I don't see how you can sue for this personally. Like, don't buy them or buy them. What do you care? Like, they're
it's
not real.
Because it preys on people like Nick who the false scarcity tactics work on.
Well. Regardless, Epic don't like this very much, and in a statement to press, they said, "This complaint contains factual errors and does not reflect how Fortnite operates. Last year, we removed the countdown timer in the item shop, and we offer protections against unwanted purchases. This includes a hold-to-purchase mechanic, instant purchase cancellations, self-service returns for shop purchases, and an explicit yes/no choice to save payment information. When a player creates an Epic account and indicates that they are under 13, they are unable to make real money purchases until a parent provides consent. And once they do, we offer industry-leading parental controls, including PIN protecting purchases. We will fight these claims."
Well, all those happened because of all the times they got in trouble.
Yeah, that does amuse me a little bit. I'm like, yeah, okay, guys. People want to make money. I can't blame them, but also, ugh. What do we got? There's more news. All the news. Playdead, one of my favorite studios, who made one of my favorite games ever. With
Used
Inside.
to be.
Yes,
They're really different now.
They're really different now.
Everything's
clearly.
different.
Co-founder Dino Patti claims fellow co-founder of Playdead has been sending him rather harassing messages. This is an odd one. According to Patti, Playdead co-founder Arndt Jensen has spent nearly a decade threatening him with legal action. This is via GameDeveloper.com, written by Justin Carter.
Is that the update part? Because it's not the original claim?
The update part says that in an email to Game Developer, Playdead did confirm it submitted demands, Patti, about his alleged infringement and unauthorized use of Playdead's trademarks and copyrighted works in a commercial and marketing context. Now, the issue here is that Patti was a co-founder of Playdead and referenced Limbo, a game that he helped build, in LinkedIn and in other places to talk about his new games. And they tried to attack him for it, including apparently sending a message asking for something like 56 grand because he did that.
I wonder why Playdead has fallen apart and everyone's left.
According to Patty, Jensen has repeatedly threatened him with legal action over the last 9 years. He chose to make this public because the last time Ant tried to bully me, I told him I would make it public. Patty also argued that he had a significant role in a part of building Playdead from the ground up. Without me, Playdead wouldn't have existed. That's not ego, that's a fact. And directly to Ant, he says, please stop the bullying. I will not stop being who I am. I will never erase my own history. You can't rewrite the past just because of a bad breakup. In a recent reply to his own post, he told Jensen he would love to come to a solution where your liars don't write to me every 6 months with some bullshit. My phone lines are open. Fair enough, Paddy. You go tell him. It's so sad to hear that creatives and friends that built a team like that together have fallen out in such a
that could never happen here,
way.
John.
It would never happen here. We love each other too much, right, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Broski? Brosif? Geese? Buddy? Pal? Mate?
Inside was good. It's very sad that the whole studio fell apart and everything's been split up.
Yeah, and Playdead are working on a game. You know, I'm intrigued to see what it ends up being, but maybe I'm not now. These guys sound like jerks. What else have we got? I'm conscious of time. Peter Moore, the legendary Peter Moore, recently appeared on Gamertag Radio talking about console wars. Lots to dig into on this one, so I would absolutely recommend going and having a listen on Gamertag Radio's YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the chat below. But they asked him a bunch of stuff. It's a great interview. Go listen to it. But particularly one quote that was pulled out by our friends over at VGC, Chris Scullion here, was Peter Moore's view on the console war. He did encourage the battle, apparently, but times have now changed. He was he was asked about Xbox's current strategy of releasing its first-party games on other systems. And according to Moore, the mainstream press previously blamed all of society's ills on video games, saying that they're a waste of time, creating violence, blah, blah, blah.
That's coming back. If some of the acts in Congress in the U.S. pass, it's going to be really hard to make any video games. Yeah.
And back in those days, we needed to do, this is Peter Moore speaking, we needed to do a ton of missionary work in those days. And at the same time, we were young enough to have fun and do all the daft stuff that we did and all the stunts. I think the console wars that you're kind of alluding to were healthy for the industry. I've said it before. Certainly, I did encourage the battle because I think gamers love to see Xbox versus PlayStation and maybe Nintendo as well. And I think that it was a rising tide that lifted all ships. But he stressed that today's situation is different. If Microsoft had the choice, he said, would they make hardware? No. Would they be delighted if they could be a multi-$100 billion entity delivering content directly to your television, to whatever monitor you chose to play on? You bet. But still, you know, consoles are, as we've particularly seen with Nintendo now, people love their hardware. He's right. You know, like I don't think any manufacturer would make hardware if they didn't have to.
Hey, the thing yesterday, it was at me, you, and Ursel. In LA.
You've lost me.
The thing yesterday that I was invited to, was it me, you, and Ursel we were trying to get invites for?
Not specifically. I was just thinking
because he wants to go, and they would want that info now. So I'm going to tell them yes.
So
no, you can't do anything.
The problem
different.
with that is streaming that show. That's now off because both of our streamers are out.
Yep.
But, okay.
I mean, anyone else can just do it through StreamYard if they really want.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, there you go. Go listen to the Peter Moore conversation. It's a good one. Look, I have to apologize to the chat today. I think I was delayed for reasons that I will explain later on in the year, and we're just all a bit of a mess right now today. That was a time sensitive thing that the sooner the better from what I know on that. So yeah. So just bear with us, folks. Normally we're a little bit more organized than this.
I'm organized.
Speaking of being unorganized, Killing Floor 3 has been delayed only weeks before launch.
They had a really, really bad beta. People were not happy.
Yeah, fans of fans of Killing Floor were not happy with what Killing Floor 3 currently is. And they released a statement on Twitter delaying the game to an unspecified point in 2025, saying that after taking the time to gather and discuss feedback from our recent closed beta, we realized we've missed the mark. Our goal isn't just to make Killing Floor 3 an ambitious step forward for the franchise, but also to maintain the core experience you've come to know and love. With the full support of our parent company, Embracer Group, we're working together on a timeline to address many of the common issues players had, including performance, stability, UI and UX, lighting, and weapon feel. While it's too early to say which fixes will be implemented by launch, we can confirm that an update allowing you to independently select your perk class and character is planned for post-release. We look forward to another opportunity to show you a more polished version of Killing Floor 3, and when we're ready to share more details, you will be the first to know. Until then, we thank you for your continued patience and overwhelming support.
Some of the main issues where people wanted essentially a fundamental overhaul of how the game works, and that even a delay like this isn't going to be able to do that. So, yeah. I don't know. I've liked Killing Floor 1 and 2. I don't know anything about 3. I haven't played a second of it, but I hope they figure it out.
Yeah. In other news, I can't ever pronounce the name of this game, but the development team
Dordogne.
Help me out. Dordogne. There you go. The development team behind Dordogne has closed. I think this is Animation. Animation. The founder and CEO of that team, the company that was running the Animation brand, is now closed. They posted on LinkedIn, America Castaigne, saying that they wanted to thank their team from the one that left early last year to the one that stayed until the last hour. Thank you. You know, I'll always be here for you. And thank you to all of you who supported us on our path. We'll be back with even more amazing projects. Until then, I have a consultancy agency, and I will be back to you next week talking at GDC. So, sucks to hear another good game studio closing its doors. This industry, man, it's in a really, really rough spot.
Yeah, it's real hard to get that. It's real hard to earn money, as John would know.
Yes, I do. Last few bits and pieces to wrap things up before we log out for the day. Ubisoft have revealed the global launch times for Assassin's Creed Shadows. You can check this out over on xboxera.com at the moment. It's launching globally. Preload is available.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Every America has different times, despite the fact that America will all just be midnight US East Coast, but then they give different times for the West Coast. They also have all the wrong everything's the wrong place country wise. Like they put Warsaw in Poland near Moscow on their little map they made. Like it's a weird graphic.
Oh, Ubisoft, they just can't help themselves, can they? Yeah, it's the preload is available from March 4th, so you can preload the game now. It seems PS5.
Yeah, we get it very early.
Yeah, preload available March 18th and on PC March 17th.
Or 2 days before, day of embargo.
Wow.
And people are like, how come Xbox has a preload so much sooner? It's like, because they always do. I don't know why. They just always do. Every time I'm going through and looking at shit. The only way you get a preload on Steam is if you have the beta branch review version code, and that's not even the same store listing. So seems weird. Steam, you get a Steam for testing code, and then you have to have a beta branch password that gets you into the review build. But then once the game launches, it just becomes a base game.
Yeah,
it's kind of like what Microsoft's doing now with their insider build. With previews and stuff, where it just becomes a base game, which is good because I still don't own Halo Infinite because of the way that worked, and I never got my save. But yeah,
oh, that's depressing.
But the other part of this was they did all the performance modes, so we can talk about them. On not that you're playing on console, I am, and Ferry and Nick are. And on console, you get your 30 FPS quality with standard ray tracing, 40 FPS quality for 120 hertz or 240 hertz displays with standard ray tracing and similar graphics to quality, or performance mode with selective ray tracing. And might not look as good as quality or balanced as one would imagine. Series S, you only get 30 with select ray tracing. PS5 Pro's big difference is it has enhanced ray tracing in 30 and 40 and regular ray tracing in 60 because it's got better ray tracing cores. So
Yeah.
there you go.
And it's worth noting, I really want to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows. The team at Xbox Era are doing their best to try and somehow schedule a full-blown review discussion show.
Spoilery cast, but I probably wouldn't go into the ending because myself and Ferry would be...
Spoiler.
Yeah, because Ferry and I would probably be the only ones that actually beat it.
Yeah.
But it would be a bigger, longer team discussion about the game.
Yeah.
If we can.
So we're going to try and get something together for you guys post review embargo. The review, of course, is arriving on March 18th.
I think it's 9 a.m. my time.
And it will be a premiere.
Yeah.
So you can tune in and enjoy that. And if we do manage to pull off a sit-down discussion, we will put that on as an available video alongside it for some companionship viewing.
It might be a little later. We'll see. I don't know how many things are going on the 18th because we also have headlines that day. And we always get screwed on notifications because everyone likes making their freaking embargoes the exact same time because they won't talk to each other.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. And last but not least, to close things out, a couple of ones here.
I won't show the video, so don't worry. I'm not going to spoil it.
Okay, I'm going to do 3. I'm going to do Fallout, Silent Hill, and Doom. First of all, Fallout New Vegas sets have leaked on TikTok. Not New Vegas, the game, but for Fallout Season 2, which seems to be taking us down to the Nevada Strip. A TikTok user named Onzo1313 leaked set footage of the Fallout TV series take on that strip with some of the music from Fallout in the background. It looks very clean, very new. So maybe this was before the fall of humanity, but super cool to kind of see.
New Vegas didn't look too bad.
Work is
like at times, but yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. But I'm intrigued. I can't wait for season 2 of Fallout. Konami announced a live stream called the Silent Hill Transmission as they're ready to reveal a little bit more about Silent Hill F, which was actually announced way back in 2022. You can expect that broadcast on Thursday this week. So maybe it will be in time for, I don't think it is. I think it's like 10 p.m. at night. So we won't be able to talk about it on headlines.
So it'll be there Friday morning then.
Will Silent Hill F come to Xbox?
Probably not.
That is the question that remains on everyone's lips.
I'd assume no.
Out. It's always safe to assume no. We'll find out Thursday. So tune in then. And last but not least, there's a new Doom the Dark Ages video to go dive into if one feels so inclined. Jesse, I think you covered this one just before we went live, right?
Yep. They put out a little, it's like 3 minutes. The Art of Slaying, part 1, where Hugo Martin goes through and breaks down their very first concept piece that one of their talented artists made to give the vibe and feel for everyone else on what Doom the Dark Ages was going to come. And if you watch that video, you will see he nailed it. It's exactly what the game looks and feels like now. It is real pretty, very close to what the key art of the game is now. And it was like the first thing he really did for it. So it's a cool little 3-minute video, well worth watching.
That's it, folks. That's all of the news, at least for today. I'm sure there'll be more once we finish going live, and there'll be more over the days to come. But we'll be back, fortunately, on Thursday with another episode of Headlines to take you through it. Because of the time zone differences, it's a little bit earlier in the US, right? So we're going to go at 2 o'clock my time. Is that correct?
Well, 10 o'clock for me would be 2 o'clock for you. Yeah. So we'll keep headlines at the same time at 10 o'clock.
For you American folks.
Yeah, but the podcast will be at 6 this Saturday for the next couple weeks.
That's 11 for me?
No, it's 10 for you because you freaking haven't changed your time frame. That's the whole reason.
Okay.
My God. But also, you're not on this weekend, but it's for Nick.
I'm not on this week. I don't
Nick
care.
hasn't fallen back. So it's the same for Nick. For 2 weeks, it's at 6 p.m. US. And then for 1 week, we have to determine, is it at 6 and 11 or is it at 5 and 10? Because you will be off from Nick for 1 week.
Yeah. Excellent. Until then, chat. thank you ever so much for sticking around. Be sure to hit that like button before you close the window and log out for the day. And if you really love what Xbox Era does, do seriously give some consideration to supporting us directly on Patreon. It's where you individually can make the biggest difference. And if enough of you did it, we'd be living the high life and we bring you even more content every week. So consider it, please, for the love of God. Don't make me beg. Until Thursday, we will see you then for more Xbox Hero headlines. Be good, play video games, have fun. Ciao for now.
Bye-bye.
I feel insane every single time I'm asked to compromise. 'Cause I'm afraid and stuck in my ways, and that's the way it stays. So how long did I expect love to outweigh ignorance? By that look on your face, I may have forced the scale to tip. I'm not insane. I'm not insane. I'm not insane. I'm not insane. Come back to me. It's almost easy. Set it off. Set it off. Come back again. It's almost easy. Shame pulses through my heart from the things I've done to you. It's hard to face, but the fact remains that this is nothing new. I left you bound and tied with suicidal memories, selfish beneath the skin, but deep inside I'm not insane. 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 Come back to me. It's almost easy. Set it off. Set it off. Come back again. It's almost easy. You learn your love. Come back to me. It's almost easy. But first you fall. First you fall. Come back again. It's almost easy. Now that I've lost you, it kills me to say I've tried to hold on as you slowly slipped away. I'm losing the fight. I've treated you so wrong. Now let me make it right. Make it all right. I'm not insane. I'm not insane. I'm not insane. I'm not insane. Come back to me. It's almost easy. Set it off. Set it off. Come back again. It's almost easy. You learn your lesson. Come back to me. It's almost easy. But still you fall. Still you fall. Come back again. It's almost easy.